Are people really about to tell me that this guy is overrated?
Pretty little spin move to start himself out on the break, and he goes all the way down and finishes. Oh, Poole had Clarkson fall down and then hit the three.
This is the same person that averaged 29 points and 5 assists on shooting splits of 67, 59, 81 in his first 3 playoff games of his career. Yeah, that person is supposedly overrated. Well, I'm here to tell you that Jordan Poole is not only far from overrated, but he is a future star, and I'm about to tell you exactly why. Now, before I even give you guys his numbers that are comparable to all-star guards like Donovan Mitchell and Devin Booker, before I even talk about how exceptional he was in the absence of Steph and Curry, let's just watch what he can do. Here he is against Memphis. Now, just for context, which we shouldn't need, but this was on the road against the team with the second best record in the NBA, and it was his first playoff game off the bench. Trailing by 8 with 3 minutes left in the half, Poole starts by showing off his playmaking. Dre sets a screen which gives JP the favourable matchup, and he then just messes with Tillman before forcing Brooks to help over, which allows him to slip the pass over to Dre for the and one. The next possession, Memphis throw up a brick, which is snagged by Poole before he throws a perfect outlet pass to JK. And then the very next possession, he and Jonathan Kuminga force a stop before Poole loses the Memphis defense in transition with a beautiful stutter step looking like Jerry Rice out there. And those were just a couple of plays from a game in which he dropped a near 31-point triple-double that was crucial to the Warriors winning that series and then winning the championship. But before we talk more about what he did in the playoffs, these were his last 20 games of the regular season, and I have compared it to Mitchell and Booker before, but in case you've missed that, this is the comparison. However, I'm not focused on that right now. What's so notable is that in those last 20 games, a lot of those games were without Steph Curry. And we all know how bad the Warriors have historically been without Steph. Heck, even when they had prime KD, Clay, and Dre, they still weren't a great team without him. Just for context, last season they were 2-7 in 9 games without him. They were 22 and 22 combined in 2018 and 2019. So 500 with a super team. And this year they were 8-9. So what am I saying? Basically, Jordan Poole is better than Kevin Durant. That's what I'm saying. Just kidding. But it shows that Poole did a very good job. And without Steph, we saw JP play with a level of responsibility that he could handle. His assist numbers went up, his free throw rate, his 3-point attempts. He basically went from a 3rd or 4th option to a 1st option, which sounds weird because the Warriors only removed 1 player, but it's hard for Poole to play the role he plays with Steph in the team, because he is so effective at running the pick and roll, at hitting pull-up threes, and getting into a rhythm where he's putting defenders on skates consistently. So yeah, basically just doing what Steph does in a baby version. I mean, just watch this for example, where he gets the desired ISO against Kennard. He blows straight past him before Euro-stepping through the help defense and then reversing it with his left. Or on this play, where he snatched the soul out of Thomas Satoransky. This play right here was the reason that Satoransky had to retire from the NBA and move away from America. Or how about on this play where he nearly sent Kyle Lowry into retirement as well.
Poole step back, the yank back 3.
Now we all know Steph is the easiest superstar to play with in NBA history, but it's only natural that when he goes out of the team and Poole's usage rate goes from 23% to 31%, that he gets more opportunity to handle the ball and dominate. But let's just ignore that for a second, because looking at his skill set, how many other players have the ability to go 0 to 100 as quick as he does, whilst also being in control of his handle and his decision making? Because I haven't even mentioned how great of a playmaker he is. Watch this pass. 5 seconds left in the shot clock with Edwards on him. He blows straight past Ant, draws Beverly, wraps around him and throws a perfect left-handed dime to Clay for the 3. Very similar to some of those plays you see a guy like Donovan Mitchell make. But speaking of similarities, what about this play where he gets the Steph Curry treatment as Thibault helps over to double Poole? So he rockets a pass out to Wiggins, which is swung to Steph before it finds Looney for the layup. The reason Poole's playmaking is so promising because he's a really good driver and can get downhill using either hand to kick it out to open shooters, but he can also play under control and use hesitations and changes of speed to run the pick and roll and throw lobs to a potential James Wiseman, which I expect to be dangerous. He's not just a solid playmaker, he will be a high-level passer for many years in this league, because when you have the combination of IQ, ball handling, and 3-level scoring, the game continues to open up for you as a playmaker. And I've kind of glossed over it, but the reason people like myself have assigned him as a relative of the Splash Brothers is because he's an exceptional 3-point shooter. Actually, that's underselling it, because post All-Star break, he not only shot 41% from 3, but he led the entire NBA in 3-point makes over that period of time. And this is where his combination of learning from the 2 3-point goats that happen to play on his team, paired with his skill set, make him impossible to guard. And this play is the encapsulation of everything that makes him so special.
Poole the drive to Looney. Looney gathers, kicks it back out. Poole a 3-pointer.
Breaking down the defense, making a perfect pass, and then relocating before setting his feet and knocking down a 3 in a major playoff game. That's the Jordan Poole experience wrapped into one play. But with this being said, what's next for JP? How does he become this star that he is more than capable of being, whilst likely having to play off the bench behind 4 all-star level players? Right now, the biggest improvement he could make is defensively. He's not a terrible defender, but his lack of size combined with some lapses in concentration on that end make him an easy target for a team that don't have any other weak defensive players. And that was a reason why his minutes started to dwindle towards the end of the playoffs. But we've seen it happen with Steph, where when you bulk up a little bit and become more intelligent on that end of the floor, and I still think Jordan Poole can definitely be a fine to good defender. And offensively, he still fits with Curry perfectly. The only reason I brought up those numbers was to show what he could do if you plopped him on a 20-win team like so many of these other guys that people claim are so much better than Poole. If you put him on a 20-win team, he's averaging 23 to 24 points a game and giving you 6 assists. Yes, he is that good. Anyways, if you did make it all the way to the end of the video, if you could drop a like, that would be much appreciated. Subscribe to the channel for more. Have a great day. Bye.